All right, so a lot of people try to come up with this notion that USDT is pumping Bitcoin and the rest of them, and a lot of nonsensical conspiracies. But this video is to make you understand how the likes of BlackRock, Michael Saylor, and others are buying crypto. So, for you to understand that, you have to understand how the ordinary person or the retail trader buys their crypto. So, they convert their fiat currency depending on where you're from. Some platforms, some countries don't allow you to use your credit card or debit card to buy. Okay, so you end up having to convert to USDT, either P2P, and then go to the exchange to go and buy, whether it's centralized or decentralized exchange. Okay, now while you are doing that, it is helping in pumping the price depending on how much money you're putting in the market. Now, when you have centralized exchanges that have a limit or a cap on how much you can buy per asset and how much you can withdraw from your centralized exchange, okay, when you look at those limits, you understand why most of these guys are not buying through exchanges. Because if they are buying directly through the spot trading on exchanges, we're going to see high prices like 200,000 Bitcoin or $250, $250,000 Bitcoin. But we're not seeing that. And most times the market, when you look at when Michael Saylor is buying Bitcoin, you find out that the market does not pump when he buys. The market pumps after he has announced publicly that they bought a certain amount of Bitcoin. Why is that the case? That is because there are intermediaries that come into play to protect the market from what they call price impact or high slippage in price. Okay? So you have exchanges offering what they call OTC deals. So which means the exchanges will sell from their own stack of the coin, let's say in this case Bitcoin. Okay? And sometimes those platforms, so those exchanges will need USDT in return, because if they give you BTC and you give them cash, guess what? In their record or in their portfolio, that BTC is gone. So nothing is replacing it. So which means they have to use the cash to go and buy USDT back or buy some BTC. Okay, now this is when exchange, I'm talking about exchange OTC deals. So what happens is that those people, the likes of Michael Saylor, they go through Tether, which is the issuer of USDT. They strike a deal, take their fee, and give the likes of Michael Saylor USDT, which they use to trade with exchanges. So which means they give the exchanges USDT and the exchanges give them BTC. Now, there is another way where another intermediary that these corporate investors are using to invest in Bitcoin, which is through miners. So you have Bitcoin miners, they mine Bitcoin every day, though the reward is reducing, but the value is also going up. So you have these miners, and from time to time, they need cash because they have recurring expenditure in terms of electricity and also other technical upgrades. So they need cash. Okay, so the corporate investors can go direct to the miners to buy from them as they're mining BTC. Now, not all the transactions might be in cash, so you have a mixture of USDT and cash. So at the end of the day, Tether will still be involved, because the amount involved, when somebody is buying up to like $10 billion of Bitcoin, trust me, it's not going to be all fiat, because there are limits set by banks for that. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So you find out that Tether is always involved in all these major buy-ins by corporate institutions. So I believe you understand how the likes of Michael Saylor, BlackRock are buying Bitcoin. I now understand the role USDT and also USDC is playing in facilitating these OTC deals. Okay? If you have a contrary opinion, or you know better than me, or you have been in the room when those deals are being made, let me know. Okay? Because I myself am speaking from experience of having to deal with centralized exchanges and having to deal with decentralized exchange, as somebody who has listed a coin before, and somebody who has a project currently ongoing that is running on DEX. I prefer DEX because everything is 100%. If somebody buys $10 of this, it's going to show on DEX. But there's still need for OTC deals. Even in my own project, Alludio Coin, there's still need for OTC deals because there are a certain amount people might put into the exchange to buy, and it will distort the price in a bad way. Believe you me. And that is why you see coins like Mantra shooting up to as high as $9 and then crashing below $1. Anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Till I see you guys next time. Take care and bye for now.